This is Baron Oakenfinger's band. He's got a unit of axe thanes, which are offensive heavy foot. There's Baron himself with his elite foot, so he's a leader, a ranger, but nothing special beyond that. The goat riders, which are heavy riders and have counter charge. Another unit of the axe thanes, so they're heavy foot offensive. And then the warbears, which are lesser war beasts, and they have cunning and berserk.
We have over here, we have some bellicose foot, all fired up and ready to go. We have some elite foot. They have hatred of dwarves, obviously, because they're fighting dwarfs and they hate them. We've then got light foot with a spellcaster. He's a level 2 spellcaster. He's got magenta and saffron magic. We've then got some light missiles over there. Then we've got some heavy mounted troops, but they've been upgraded to be chariots. And beyond those, another unit of bellicose foot. So over here, the bellicose foot have moved up. They've discovered that the ford is open ground. We diced to see whether it was rough, which would have made life difficult for my chariots, but it isn't. It's open ground, so they've splashed through there and are facing down the dwarfs. Over here, the archers, the Arab boys have pushed up a bit, ready to hopefully get some shots in next turn. The spellcaster, the shaman, this turn didn't move. Instead, he cast berserk spell on the bellicose foot over here, who are facing off against the bears, while their general, now we've recounted the models, the proper 6-men elite unit looks on. Over the other side, mainly the dwarves have just pushed up. It's all about to kick off. So over here, the orcs lost at the fight. We thought they'd failed and then did a recount of their courage, so they're still hanging in there, but then they failed to rally and have lost another orc and remain battered. Over here, the orc archers benefited from some magic, but still failed to inflict any shooting casualties on the dwarfs over there. But over here, the bellicose foot smashed into the dwarfs over there and drove them back, but I suspect are now about to get charged by at least 1 and possibly 2 units of dwarfs.
So over here, the orcs that charged over the river got charged by both Balin and the other set of dwarves, and it took both units, but they actually got rid of them in the end, so they routed off across the river, whimpering with their tails between their legs. No biased commentary. The warbears wild charged into the orc leader and were swiftly bounced off their tough, shiny black armour, whilst over here the remaining bellicose foot continue to fail their rally attempts, running off into the woods.
So over here, the orcs lurking in the woods finally gave up the ghost. The elite infantry hung around and have decided to get stuck in and are now lining themselves up to be charged and hoping that doesn't go too badly for them. Over here, the wizard has mostly been buffing the archers, making their darts a bit more deadly, which they used to good effect to weaken the goat boys before the goats came up here. The boar boys charged the goats. The goats successfully countercharged, but came off much worse. So they're now battered and driven back. So over here, the black orcs have gone steaming in and driven back the dwarf warriors there, helped by a little magic from the shaman, which made them re-roll their 2 misses. Over here, shooting to no effect because they're Araboys, and then with the chariots lined up ready to charge home gloriously, they've failed, water in the axles or something. Starting to get a bit thin on the ground now. The boar chariots have charged in, but rather bounced off the warriors there, coming off slightly worse. The Thane of the Dwarves is still standing there, holding his men strong. The archers shooting, but to no effect. Man of the match so far has been the shaman, casting spells to buff, including buffing these guys over here, who duly wiped out the other dwarf unit. We've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units on the board. We have to get down to 4 for the game to start to end. The orc Araboys here were feeling quite vulnerable as the dwarves charged across the river there, but the shaman yet again came to their rescue, cast the spell. They managed to shoot down 2 of them, at which point the dwarf courage failed them. They fled, which put us with only 4 units left on the board. So at that point it was a roll to see whether the game ends, because it was the start of a new turn, and it came up with 5, which is more than the remaining units, meaning it's game over.